Hello and welcome to a new video where we have a look at Junkie XL Percussion. Well, the name is Tom Holkenborg's Percussion. So Tom is not just a composer and a YouTube creator where he shows how he composes his Hollywood film music, but he releases two sample libraries in cooperation with Orchestral Tools, and the second one is Tom Holkenborg's Percussion. So in here you got a lot of sounds he sampled in 7 years Hollywood film music career. And a lot of people ask him at his videos, where can I buy them and when do you release a sample library? I guess half of them have been fun and half of them meant a serious. So now you get it. You can play the sounds, for example, he used in Mad Max. We have the performance kit, bass drums, solos, two-pans, concert toms, tie toms, marching band drums, and custom drums. And we use the sign player, so it's not Contact or Engine, something else. It's the sign player by Orchestral Tools. So let's try the first one, the performance kit. Okay, so this is how most of the sample libraries work, but here is another concept. Let's try the first bass drum one low tuning, and you can see we got a lot of patches. In the bass drums we got 9 patches, solos we got 12 patches, two pans 6 patches, concert toms 8 patches, tie toms 8 patches, marching band drums 6 patches, custom drums 10 patches. Okay, so the first bass drum. And here you can see and hear the difference. We got a lot of keys, not one key, and we choose different samples by different velocities. Here we choose different samples by different keys. So when I play the same sample at different velocities, it's always the same. So now I want to have some accents. So I have to play different keys. And you got to change your playing. So I guess you got to learn to play this and find the right keys. But there are some benefits in here. But first of all, let's try to play a rhythm with this great sound. Tempo seems to be okay. And let's try okay, should work. And let's quantize it to 8 trebles. And let's hear it. Did I do this? Oh, yes. Let's turn this off. Okay, first of all, seems to sound great. But we can see that I've chosen always the same sample at the lower velocity range. So I always trigger the same samples. There are no round robins, and that's good. I show you to this. So let's hear the accents. Sounds nearly the same and all together. Okay, so now I want to create some variations. And here I've created a new track version. And now let's choose just another key. So I take some of the keys and put them down and up, and the same here and here. So I do it manually now and go to this way. So I'm doing the same thing as round robins, because round robins are playing the same velocity, but playing another sample. And yeah, first of all, let's hear how it works. Okay, and here I play 2 bars of the original, and then I switch to the variation. So this is sounds more human, and perhaps you don't have the time or you don't like to do it manually. So there's another way. I go to the original, select all of them, and go to MIDI logical editor. And here is the type equal note value 1. And here we choose random values between 1 and -2. And now it chooses different keys. So it chooses different variations. Let's hear it. Now we can do this and give it more accent. This one. And lower this one. Yeah, so it is very easy to choose different velocities. When you would do it here, you got to use a key command and then press it down, or choose it here and go here to the velocity. I know you can do it here, but it can be very easy to do it this way and choose them. Yeah, so you don't need round robins. Why? A guy at the chat, at the presentation, said, well, when you go to another key, you play another velocity. Well, that's okay. That's true. But let's see how many samples we got. We've got 1 octave, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are nearly, I guess, 70 samples. And let's say that a lot of sample libraries got 5 velocity layer. I guess it would be much. And perhaps 5 round robins. So it would be 25. So here we got 70. Not at every patch, but I guess every patch got more than 25 samples. Okay, so I play from C4 to D sharp. So did you hear any difference? Me not. So different samples, yes, but not different velocity. So from C to F sharp 4, I can use them as round robins. So this is working very well. Okay, so this has been the first patch, the first bass drum. Sorry for this. Okay, let's go to the next one. And here we use the second bass drum. No, the first bass drum, but not allow the high tuning. And did you see this? I get to the first one. And the other one. So the key ranges differ from patch to patch. So we don't start here at B0. We start at E2. So this is a total different key range. And here is another benefit not to have round robins. Listen to this. Oh, no. Yeah, here it is. Can you hear the sticks at the end? So perhaps it is wanted to have the low sample with the sticks, but perhaps it's not wanted. I had another file, another patch where 3 keys had some back noises. Not really bad, but here you just can leave out this samples. So then I never use this sample. I can use all the other samples, or when it's a sample in the mid. So just never use it. At other sample arrays, you can't do this. Yes, sometimes you can't. You can say I want to unuse the first round robin when you got, let's say, 5, but this will be done at every velocity layer, at every key, and perhaps at another key or another velocity layer. It's not the first round robin, it's the third. So it's not very easy to unuse specific samples, and here you can do it, and that's fine. And yes, I found, I guess, four samples that has some noises in them, but here are so much different samples, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the bass from high tuning. So let's take another one. We choose the second high. Great. And the next one, the third low. And we got more. Let's choose the fourth one. And at last we take the last one. Let's go to here. So what I do now, the same as Junkie did. First, let's freeze it. Yes. So, and now I copy this one. So every instrument is playing the same, and the samples are all well cut. So I play the first bass drum. Sounds like one bass drum, right? But I played 4 keys. Let's choose a bit latency. So you can hear they are all well cut at every patch. Now let's play them all together. I turn down the volume. Okay, and now let's listen to all of them on their own. Oh yeah, so I guess you can hear the difference because the lower keys are not playing. Why? It's because of the key range. You can see that we got the lowest key at D4, but what I played is below this one. So now I have to re-edit this. Let's do this, but you can see all the other parts really don't match. Let's do this and see whether it works. Yeah, now it's better. So this can be, this can create more editing because you got different key ranges. So let's try what happens when I extend the key range. This one. Okay, so we got the same sample pitched down. So it's lower, but it's the same sample, and you change the whole sound. That's not what we want. So this can be a little bit tricky because I guess at every patch the key range changes. Okay, so the next thing is that we use quantize, and let's say here we change it by random and use a ticks. And we can see it here. This one, you can see it's not at bar 236. It's a small amount before this one. And this at every library, at every patch. So let's do it back and create track versions. So, and here quantize. Then 2 bars of the original and 2 bars with the humanized version. So when I didn't use the humanizing, it sounds a little bit boring for me. So I changed 2 bars, the hard quantized version, and then 2 bars, the second one. And for this, it's great that you don't have just one kick or one bass drum. So it's great that you have a lot of bass drums. So 9 in here. Okay, that's been the bass drum. Let's go further to the next instrument, the surdos. Surdo tuning low. And let's rise up the volume to 0. Yeah, and this method is great, so you can play things like this. This is very hard to play when you play this just at one key. So you're going to play and for me, it's easier to play it like Junkie XL does. And here it's great that we have a lot of low dynamics. Yeah, so this is great. Let me check one thing. Oh yeah, this works. Okay. So I guess we got more. Yeah, something above C7. So here are some flames, but how to play them? They are out of the playable key range. Well, you can use another keyboard, as I have the Korg Tactile, or you can use the editor. It would be great to have them at the left side where we have some playable keys left, but that's not always the case. So we will see this later. Let's try another one. That's fat. That's fucking awesome. Okay, let's go further to the 2 buttons. And that's what I really like, to play the low volume, not just every time big and epic. Great. So another 2 pan. Let's go to the concertum. And here, wow, we've got a wide key range. And I guess here are the 100 velocity samples. So Orchestral Tools says at their website, we've got till 100 samples. So you've seen that's not every time the case, but here we got 100 samples, I guess. So yeah, it's outside the playable key range at the lower keys. And that's great because a keyboard just has 88 keys. So why should you limit the velocity samples because of the key range of your keyboard? So how can you range the other keys? Well, you can use another keyboard, an additional keyboard, and you've got the editor. These toms are really a punch in your face. I guess this could create a lot of great tension just playing at the low volumes. And doing this with more and more different instruments. Okay, now the tie toms. Yeah, and here it's going higher. Great. So let's choose the last tie tom patch. And here the key range is not as big as the other patches. Now we go to the marching band drum. Oh, here the key range is very, very small. Okay, I guess there is a reason why the key range here is very small. And this one, the reason could be the size of the drums. But I would like to see that there are more samples, just that I always can play at the same key range, that I know on the right side here are the highest velocities and on the left side here are the low velocities. But it always differs. So at every patch I got to learn. What is the mapping and what kind of key range I got to play. So it would be great to have more samples created with, for example, the randomizer by Nuendo, or to have recorded more samples. So I guess the samples used here are all the samples are created by Junkie XL, Tom, and not by Orchestral Tools. So it's not their fault, and perhaps there are more reasons. I don't know why this doesn't make sense, but would have been great. Okay, let's go to the last category, the custom drums. And now we've got the custom birch. Oh, I love the release sound. So let's try something. Just record this one. So do it this way, this way. Now do it longer. Now render in place. And now I want to edit this one. Just guess, yeah, after the hit. So let's do this. And more this. Yeah, so let's create a new file. And let's do this. And now we change the pitch. We can use a pitch shifter, but let's do it this way. And now I use tape. And now let's add black hole. Or we use Room by Valhalla. So we choose large hall, no high cut, long room. Yeah, and now let's add, did I activate this one? Yes, the mini. I love this filter. And let's put it to here. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Okay, but now let's go back to the sine player. At last, we have a look at the custom toms. Yeah. Here we got a great example again for round robins and not having them, because here you can hear the sticks. And here. I guess the next key isn't. No, just here and here. But it's not bad because we've got enough samples, enough velocities, so I can just use the next key. No sticks, and the key on the left side, the left neighbor. Nothing. So here it's great that you can create your own round robins, and you can choose whether you want to use them or not. So that's about the sound. Let's check the library. How much does it need? It is 10 gigabyte. It needs 5 gigabyte at your drive, so it doesn't need a lot of space. It uses the sine player, and you have here the mixer with 2 different microphone positions. You got front and back. Sometimes the difference is really huge. Sometimes it's not such a big difference in here. And what is the price? So here we are. I'm in Germany now. So here the price is normally 299 euro. I don't know what's the price in dollar pairs, $299. And now it's 33% off. And now we got 199 euro. So $100 is the discount. And you got to calculate the taxes. So they differ from country to country. And I guess it will never be as cheap as this one, because Orchestral Tool is a company that doesn't have discounts very often. Sometimes there are discounts at native instruments, but this will never be at native instruments because they use the sine player. So we got 24-bit, we got 48 kilohertz. You got to use the latest sine version, but it's free. And yeah. That is about the library. Oh yeah, I guess this discount is till, let's see, I guess the 23rd of June. And you can get a bundle where you got percussion and brass. So this is Junkie XL or Tom Holkenborg's percussion. You got the possibility to use the same sounds he used at, for example, Mad Max. You asked for it, now you got the possibility. This is not a normal orchestral percussion library. This is very special. You got a lot of velocities. You got to use it in another way. I guess the only other library who has the same system is LA Modern Percussion. And you got a lot of variation, so you got a lot of different instruments, what I like. So you can play the same pattern with, for example, here, 9 different instruments. So this can sound very, very huge and big. And the only thing I miss is that I would like to have always the same key range. So when I choose another pitch, I got to relearn where are the low velocities, where are the highest, where is the mid. And when I copy MIDI part, perhaps it doesn't work because some events or some notes are out of range, so they are silent, and I've got to re-edit this one. So what's your opinion? How much do you like this library? Have you bought it? Have you played it? How much fun did you have this? Did you listen to the demos? Will you have it in the future? What's your opinion? Just leave me a comment, and when you like this video, please give me a thumb up. Would make me very happy. See you the next time. Bye.